What's going on, guys? It's Alone Courier here, and got some Gears of War 4 gameplay here. It's just beta gameplay, you know, it's nothing new or anything. It's still old gameplay from way back in like May or April, I think it was. Yeah, it's definitely May when they ran the beta for Gears of War 4. Gotta say, man, that was a pretty fucking good beta, actually. You know, it's one of the most reliable betas I played recently. Obviously, there's a little bit of lag. There's one clip in this gameplay that you'll see specifically, which is just, it really was laggy, you know, like I shot one guy and he managed to kill me at the same time as I killed him. I don't know if that's just one of those Gears of War type problems or if that was intentionally made in the game, but it is slightly confusing, you know. It's like I kill somebody and they kill me at the exact same time, you know. It was slightly confusing, and I was just kind of sitting there watching it like, dude, what the fuck just happened, you know? But one thing I really want to talk about today is the whole drama that's been going around in the Call of Duty community recently, and it's just so much drama's been going down this week. It's unfucking believable. And I've not really made many commentaries recently, you know. There's obviously not been like much in the way of commentary on my like videos, and it's just because I really don't know what to talk about, to be honest. I mean, recently I've not had much to talk about, and this is something that I do actually feel like talking about, not just to get involved in more drama. As you know, I really can't be bothered getting into drama recently, you know, it's just fucking boring. And drama on Call of Duty, and just drama on YouTube in general, I find to be fucking pointless. It is by far one of the most pointless things that I can think of, and it really gets nobody anywhere, to be honest. So I've not been getting involved in it as much as I would, you know, recently. I mean, a couple of months ago I would have just got involved in that shit, but recently I've just been like, nah, fuck that. I, to be honest, can't be arsed with it. And this is one of the rare exceptions where I'm actually going to talk about it, because it's something that I feel like talking about. And one of them that's been coming up recently is the whole clickbait thing, and that's been coming up from everybody, and I know who they're talking about. Well, it's not just one guy in particular. There is one guy from over here in the UK that is fucking bad for it, and there definitely is a couple of people from over America that are really fucking bad for it as well. And I'm not going to say their names because everybody knows who they are, and they're a fucking bunch of wankers in my opinion, and I really can't be bothered talking about them or including their names in my videos because I think they're fucking scumbags, and you know, that's the end of it. But the whole clickbait thing, I definitely do agree with a lot of the big YouTubers what they've been saying about it recently. There has been one video that I saw from HoloPoint talking about it, and I really didn't like HoloPoint that much, to be completely honest. I mean, I thought he was just another one of these, you know, CoD cocksuckers, but, you know, recently he's been making some okay videos, so, you know, I don't really have as much of a problem as I would have had a couple of months ago with him. But one thing that he said about it was, obviously, every YouTuber does clickbait, you know. It's one of those ways that you get people to watch your fucking video, because obviously you post your videos on YouTube not wanting nobody to watch your videos. If you post a video on YouTube, you want people to watch it. That's the point, you know. You're like, there's no point in being humble here, you know. If you post your videos on YouTube, you want thousands of people to watch it. You don't want it to sit there with like 10 views on it, you know. You want people to watch your shit. And there is a point in clickbait, but there is also a point where you take clickbait way too far, and that's when you start doing the whole SEO bullshit and just flat out lying type clickbait, you know, saying, oh, ray gun is in multiplayer, but it's fucking clearly not in multiplayer. You know, it was a hack in Black Ops 1, and now you're trying to say it's going to be in Black Ops 3, and you're acting like it's in the game when it clearly isn't in the fucking game. You know, there is a clear point between clickbait and just flat out lying. And these YouTubers are really taking it beyond the point of just clickbait. They're taking it to the point of fucking lying. And it really does sicken me that YouTube's turned into this, or so many people think that this is the way to grow your channel, because it's not. Because when these guys post these videos, you know, this is just a problem I've had with a lot of YouTubers since day one of me having my own channel. And I don't feel like a lot of people have their own personality on their YouTube as much as they should. You know, YouTube for me, it's called YouTube for a reason. It's got you in there. You know, if your channel doesn't have your own fucking personality in there, I don't see the point in you having a YouTube channel, you know. It's meant to be your outlet, you know, it's meant to be you. But these people are just posting all these videos, you know, that are just flat out lying, and it's for nothing more than views and money and ad revenue and all that bullshit. And these guys, they obviously watch the big YouTubers and they're like, oh, I'm going to get as good as this guy. I'm going to have as many subscribers as this guy is. And then I'm going to get invited to all these Call of Duty events. And then I'm going to make a shit ton of money. And then I'm going to have a big fucking house like one of these guys. You know, and if that's your ambition, fair enough. I'll support you fully. But the thing is, if this is the way you think you're going to go about it, you're fucking wrong. And your ambitions and your inspirations are in the wrong fucking places, bud. That is just bullshit. That is not the way to grow your channel, and that is just, it's scummy, you know? Like, if you're gonna flat out lie to your viewers, then what's the fucking point in YouTube? And I mean, yeah, you could say, oh, well, everybody kinda stretches the truth a little bit in their videos. Yeah, that is true, I will give you that one. But the thing is, these guys are flat out fucking lying, you know, saying, oh, ray gun and multiplayer, when it clearly isn't. And you know what, they're trying to act like it is by showing you these images, but they're fucking blatantly photoshopped, and it's like, come on, dude, you're not fooling anybody other than the fucking 12-year-olds who are the type of fucking retards that will watch your videos. You know, these clickbait SEO channels that post their videos, I don't find any entertainment value in them. And yeah, you could say, well, entertainment value is a selective thing, you know, you'll think it's entertainment and somebody else might not. Someone else might think this is entertainment and you might think it's bullshit. And I will give you that, that's a good point there. But these channels, they don't have any entertainment value to them. They just lie in every single one of their videos. And when you're lying in every single one of your videos, what's the fucking point in watching your videos? You know, if you can't watch them, you know, because I bet these guys wouldn't watch that kind of content themselves. You know, they start off their videos with it, do you want free COD points? And it's like, fuck's sake, dude, you're like a walking advert, it's bullshit. And that's just it, you know, I think these guys are complete and utter scumbags, and I fucking hate that people do shit like that on YouTube. You know, it's just one of the worst things on this site, and I think it's literal cancer, you know. That is the type of cancerous shit on YouTube, so, you know, I think it's complete and utter bullshit. Moving on to the next thing that I want to talk about, however, is the recent stuff that Drifter's been talking about, and it's been going around a lot of the places that people have been talking about. And that is the Call of Duty community too negative, or is the Call of community too toxic, or whatever? And I'm just going to say right now that I do agree with Drifter in a few places in this video. You know, there's a few points that he does raise that I'm like, yeah, that is kind of fair enough. And there is also a lot of things that he says in his video that I totally disagree with. First one is, you know, it's just negative. Yeah, the Call of Duty community is fucking negative. But you've got to know that there is a fucking reason for that negativity. Over the last couple of years, the game quality has slipped. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I am a big fan of Advanced Warfare, but I can admit that it is one of the worst Call of Duty games ever. You know, just thanks to the supply drops and all the microtransactions in the game. You know, it's like you buy a game and half of the content is locked away behind paywalls. You know, whether that's DLC or supply drop weapons. And obviously in Black Ops 3, they've taken these supply drop weapons to a whole new fucking level, because they're almost like new fucking weapons, you know. In Black Ops 3, I've always said this, but it feels like the base weapons in the game are just shitty little reskins of Black Ops 2 weapons, and the fun, cool, unique weapons are all locked behind paywalls. Like the fucking MX Garand, sure it's not very practical, sure it's not a good gun at all, you know, it's just a shitty reskin of the Shiva, but it's fucking awesome, you know, it's an M1 fucking Garand. I played World at War, I want my hands on that looks so fucking badass. But no, that is locked behind a paywall, you know, and then we get the Shiva, which just feels like a piece of shit, you know. It's like the unique cool weapons are all locked away, like the HG40, it's not a very good gun, it's not very practical, but it's cool, it's unique. But we don't get that, that's in supply drops as well. And then you've got stuff like the Marshall 16, which was flat out broken for the longest fucking time ever. But no, nobody saw a problem with it, not even Drifter. He's sitting there going, oh well, I don't think there's a problem with the Marshall 16s. There clearly was, dude, stop bullshitting. You've got stuff like the Rift E9 and the Banshee. Those look like fucking fun weapons, but no, they're locked behind supply drops. And that's the thing, dude. You know, all the base weapons are shitty reskins, and then you've got all the unique stuff that's in supply drops. And that's the kind of shit that people are getting sick and fed up with in the Call of Duty community, and obviously there's a lot of reasons with that as well. Obviously the games just aren't as good as they used to be. Now, I'm not going to say right here that I ever think Call of Duty is going to be back to the standard of MW2, but MW2, where it was broken in a lot of ways, it was one of the most fun games ever, and it's just Call of Duty has lacked that for the last couple of years, you know. I don't know what it is, you know, it's hard to actually put your finger on it, but Call of Duty's changed for the worse over the last couple of years, and it's just not as fun as it used to be. You could say, oh, well, that's because you're a lot older now and you just think the games have become more boring, and that's a fair point right there, but just, Call of Duty's changed, man. It's fucking worse than it used to be, and it is pretty shit right now. You know, if I was to compare Black Ops 3 to like MW2, I would fucking go with MW2 any day of the week, even if it's still got lag and hackers. You know, Black Ops 3 is just a fucking shit game. And especially with the futuristic setting, nobody asked for it, nobody wanted it, and certainly nobody wants it anymore. But no, they're still going down it. It's like Activision had all their studios working on a futuristic game, despite us not wanting a futuristic game, you know? I mean, yeah, fair enough, by the time Advanced Warfare came out and people said that we don't want future settings, it was probably too late for Infinite Warfare by that point. You know, the game probably was not finished, obviously not in a year, but it did have a lot of things, like, too far gone to, like, go back on, you know? You get to the point in a game where there's, like, the point of no return. And I'd say by the time that people said with Advanced Warfare that they hate the futuristic setting, and by the time the Black Ops 3 beta came out and folk decided, nah, we don't want future, it was probably past the point of no return for Infinite Warfare to go back to being a normal game. And obviously that's when they decided, hey, let's do a Modern Warfare remaster, and obviously they did that just to grab a little bit more money, and obviously to sort of provide, but I don't know, I don't really trust Activision when they said that they're releasing that just to provide for the fans that don't want that. Overall, the Call of Duty community has become more negative than it ever has been, and it's because of the games and a lot of other reasons as well. You know, like the games are as laggy as they ever have been. I mean, apparently we've got dedicated servers, right? But we keep fucking getting connection interrupted, and I'm sorry, but if you're getting a connection interrupted sign, that means you're not on a fucking dedicated server. But oh no, we're on these hybrid listen servers or whatever they are, and that's not a fucking dedicated server. You know, whatever you want to say, that is not a dedicated server. At the end of the day, that is not. That is just some fucking piece of shit that some fucking half-baked at Activision cooked up and said, oh, we can pretend these are deadies and everybody will believe it. You know, it's just, the games have become negative. The games have become shit recently, and that's why the community is negative, because we're getting fed up of these shit games. And, you know, there's no way, there's no two ways about it. You know, the games are definitely worse than they ever have been. Obviously, there's a lot of other reasons why the Call of Duty community is a lot more negative, and that's just because, yeah, it's just recently there's just been this toxic mentality within every single game. And I mean, it's been like that since online games have ever been a thing, you know, the whole competitive nature of games, and just the attitudes of a lot of people. You know, this toxic mentality isn't brand new. The whole, you know, I totally fucked your mum last night, that shit is not new. You know, go back to Halo 3, like almost 10 years ago, about 8 years ago in Halo 3, that was the kind of shit you heard in most lobbies. You know, that is seriously not a new kind of attitude. That's been around for ages, and it probably will be around for another however long online gaming lasts. You know, it's not new, but, you know, stuff definitely has gotten a lot worse recently with the CoD community. That's definitely true there. But when it comes down to just straight up negativity and like game lobbies and whatnot and talking shit, it's been like that since day one. Don't fucking lie to yourself, Drifter. But yeah, and this video's getting a little bit long at this point. I never actually meant it to turn out 13 minutes long, but, you know, I guess what is, what is. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. It's been a Lone Courier. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.